Today I'll be reviewing the Oraimo Airbuds 2S. I've been using these buds for about 6 months now. I got them in April and this is October, so this is my full review, my full long-term review. And to start it off, we'll start with the unboxing. So basically this is what you get when you order the Oraimo Airbuds 2S. This is the retail box. On the left side you have the keep exploring text. On the back you have detailed specifications of the earbuds, and then the authentication center is used to verify if the buds are original or not. On the right side you have some summarized specs. Basically it shows touch controls, sweat proof, and basically a few of the specifications of what to expect. On the top you have some other barcodes for their social accounts, and then on the bottom part you have a barcode. And Oraimo is boasting of 365 days warranty. I don't think you would have to use that. I hope you don't have to use that. Okay, and now let's get to the unboxing. It takes a while for the buds to come out of the box because they have this perfect fit. This is the case of the buds. This is what you get, and we'll get to this later. Underneath the box, you pull this, you have this stuff, you pull it out. When you pull it out, you have this quick step guide, basically for first time use only. This is a bit detailed and there's nothing on the back. Then underneath that you have your welcome guide. It's a very detailed manual. If you already know how to use buds, I feel like this would be all you need. But if you're new to this is where you should be looking at. You should read this and like follow the instructions here, but then you should also go to this if you are a new user. So other than that, you have your charging cord. It is a USB type A to type C port. So the buds charge with you have a USB type C ports, they charge with that. And other than that, you have the ear tips also in here. You have 3 sizes. You have small, medium, and large. I use large. I've moved from medium to large. Thank you very much. So let's clear all of this and move on to the buds. First of all, I'll start with the case of the buds. This is the size of the case of the Oraimo Airbuds. Unlike its predecessor, it is smaller, it is sleeker and better. The case of the Oraimo Airbuds 2S is quite small and I love the size. It fits well in your pocket compared to the previous generation, which was way bigger and would bulge out when you put it in your pocket. Apparently this would not bulge out, and as you can see here, it is smaller, lighter, and it's more portable, as earbuds should be. About the design of the case, I don't really like it. The buds are built to stand up straight like this, and it's tall and wide, but it doesn't have the depth. It doesn't have enough base to support its height. So when you tap in front, it falls over easily, and when you tap from the back, it falls over easily. Also, when you shake the table a bit, and then when you shake the table a bit, it falls off, or even if you blow air, when you blow air, the buds also fall off. So that is a minus in my opinion. And at the beginning, when I firstly got the buds, I thought that these buds would be prone to scratching because the body is made out of plastic, and plastic is also prone to scratching. Plastic scratches easily, and then it's evident on the body. But that's not the case on the Oraimo Airbuds 2S. It has this glossy finish. It is still plastic, it has this glossy finish, but then because the appearance, the color is black, the scratches don't appear to be as evident as they are supposed to be, or as they would be in other plastic made devices. And also when you open the buds, they actually look good. When you open up the buds, they actually look good, and then they are easy to access. But when you close them, they give that satisfactory click. One more time. Easy. Now let's move into the battery. I've been using these buds for about 6 months now, and I've had some days of heavy usage where they last for about 4, 5, 6 hours, and I have to put them back in the case because of the low battery warning. Yes, I've killed the buds a few times with the case also, but that only happens when I forget to charge the case the night before the day I kill it or use it, and that only happens with moderate or heavy usage. Most times with heavy usage, but then it was moderate usage, and light usage, when I try to manage it, it's actually fine. With just on one charge for 2 days. But if it's heavy usage, one day you kill it because the battery only lasts for about 6 hours. Luckily they charge with the USB type C ports, and that is fast enough. It charges for 30 minutes to an hour. But then the first time you would actually use the buds, you have to charge them for 2 hours, which was recommended for the first time charge, as it said here. Charge case fully for 2 hours. But then after that, when I don't charge the buds fully for the first time after 2 hours, you will be overcharging them every single time. Well, not every single time, but most times you overcharge them regularly. It's become more common. Trust me, they are just that good. The LED on the case gives off two lights, the red light or the white light. When it gives us the red light, is when you're charging it. It blinks. When you're charging it, it blinks red light, and when it is full, the red light is steady on. But then when you open the buds case, it gives off its white light, and when you close it, the white light is still there. So I guess that's just to show you that the buds are connected to your phone or the buds are still in the case. Basically, that's what it's for. And now I'm moving into the earbuds. Okay, before I move on, let me know what you think about this case design. If it's good enough, if you like it, if you like the way it falls off, or it just reminds you of AirPods Pro. Okay, now the buds. These are the buds of the Oraimo Airbuds 2S. They are quite small. They have LED lights and they have a touchpad. They remind me of the design of the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus. They kind of look like it, but they are quite different. You have the Oraimo text there, which is, I don't really support it, but it still looks nice. It's not screaming Oraimo, and it's still manageable. It's still good. The buds are quite small and they fit in there perfectly. Unlike the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus, you cannot sleep with the buds in your ear, because when you rest the side of your head on the pillow pushes the buds in, and that can cause great discomfort in your ear. And if you sleep with it, your ear will be paining you in the morning. Trust me, it will be paining you in the morning. Like I've said before, they fit nicely in the ear. If they don't fit perfectly on the first try, you can check all the other ear tips. You have three options to choose from. You have the small, medium, and large. And amongst these three, you'll definitely find the perfect fit. And don't be surprised if one ear fits for large and the other fits for medium. It might happen, it might not happen. But if it does, that's how your ears are. And it's not a bad thing, just go with it. Although these buds, they don't have fins like the Samsung Galaxy Buds or Buds Plus, there's a risk of them falling out, especially when you are sweating. If you sweat a lot, you need to take note of this, because when you sweat, the ear tips, they get slippery, and then maybe if there's any ear movement, they just tend to fall out of your ear, and that could be bad for you, because especially if you're jogging and then they fall out of your ear and then you step on it, hopefully you won't step on it, or someone steps on it, that would be very, very bad. Here, the controls are way better than the previous generation. On the previous generation earbuds, double clicking on the buds means that you redial the previous number, and that was only useful in specific rare situations where I'm calling a lot of people and I want to call the last person I called, and it's just like, I just have to do that, and then that was useful then. But now it's not really useful. You could just use Google's assistant to do that for you. So thankfully, double tapping here either increases or decreases the volume. And yes, I said tapping. Previous buds did not have a touchpad, but this one has a touchpad. So when you tap on the buds, you don't have to apply pressure for your input to be detected. So you don't have to push the buds in, unlike the previous generation. When you tap and hold on the buds, it either skips to the next song or the previous song. Tapping and holding on the right earbud skips to the next song, while tapping and holding on the left earbud goes back to the previous song or starts the song all over again, depending on the situation. A single tap on these two buds will either play or pause the music or accept an incoming call. And you can also double tap to reject an incoming call depending on the situation. Opening the case makes the buds pair with the last device it was connected to, which I didn't really like in the beginning, because I use Spotify to stream my music, and Spotify recognized the buds as a car sound system, and automatically when you connect your car to your phone, the next thing basically is for the music to just start playing, and that was the situation with these buds. And the music will start playing without the buds being in my ear, and that's kind of annoying me, because I assume that the buds will be playing while they are in the case, but that's not the case. The speakers of the buds actually start working when you take them out, when they detect that there is no more charge, when they are not charging anymore. So that doesn't affect it. But if you're using Spotify or any other music streaming service that differentiates between buds, headphones, and car radios, it just switches to car mode automatically, and then your music starts playing. And that is the downside. And I've noticed that with other Oraimo devices. It's not a really big issue, it's just me nitpicking, so you can deal with it. It's not all that bad. But then so far, when I'm using my buds, I didn't really have any connection issues. I said when I put some distance between my phone and my buds, then I start to hear that the music is cracking, but that only happens because of the distance. Other than that, there are no connectivity issues. The music is almost seamless. It's actually seamless, and you would enjoy using the buds like that. The audio here sounds really good, and then the bass is lovely compared to other devices. It took a while for me to actually realize that these buds are actually bass heavy. They're actually bass heavy buds. They don't actually sound bad either. When you compare them to other buds, the bass actually sounds better. They sound better, but then the vocals are also still good. On other devices, you hear that the bass sounds good, but then the vocals, you can't really hear them because it sounds kind of muffled and everything. But then when you use these buds, you see that the vocals are actually clear enough, and then the bass is also good. So that's a thumbs up for me. They can try to improve on it, but then if it's just going to make it worse, they should just leave it like this. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Compared to previous generation, these sound way better when you're on the call, because on the previous buds, people would always complain that they could not hear me or my voice was sounding muffled. I basically could not really use them to make calls, and they had a feature that was dedicated to phone calls. Nobody's complaining. We don't just mention that. But then with these buds, the call quality actually improved by a great amount. I tested it, and then I could actually hear what my friend was saying with these buds, and it was actually nice. The audio sounds good. It only has some rare occasions where people will complain that my voice is sounding muffled, but I guess that's when I'm in a noisy environment where there's a lot of background noise, and then the buds cannot really separate my voice from the background noise, and that's not really a big issue. But at this price point, it's a nice thing. It's not a really big issue at this price point. There is no active noise cancelling on these buds, but with the right ear tips, you'll be able to block out external noises once the music starts playing. And then when you increase the volume too, it also helps with the passive noise cancellation. But I won't advise that you increase the volume to high levels because that could damage your hearing. But then it's still up to you. It is your life, it is your choice. But I would advise that you do not. So you keep your hearing safe, you preserve your hearing. Good. These buds, they last maybe give or take 6 hours with music playing, and that's on an average. But depending on your usage, I feel like it might be a problem to you and might not be a problem to some other people. If you love using your buds throughout the whole day, that might be a problem to you because you will want to have your music playing the whole time. There's some days where I want to use my buds for the whole day, but then I will not be able to use that. I'll have to switch to my headphones and let the buds charge up. When the buds are charged up and then the headphones are down, I switch back to the buds. So I just keep cycling between the two of them. So I wouldn't, if you want to look for buds that would last really long, but at this same price point, basically at this price point, most of these buds offer the same battery life. It just depends on the audio quality and then the form factor. Those are the only differentiating factors that come into play when it comes to this price point. But then if you don't really use your buds the whole time, it's only when you're doing something or when you're busy with something else and you just want music playing in the background, these buds would actually be a good option for you. The buds don't take as much time to charge as they would need for the first time. Once they're charged up, they give you 6 hours of light on an average. But when you increase volume to the max, that might drop down to 4.5 or 5 hours. Let's talk about the price. These buds, they cost about 10,000 naira at the time I got them. When I got them, it would cost me around 10,000 naira. That might be higher now, it might be lower. I don't really know. I'll put the price in the video once I've done my research on the price. I'll put the price in the video. It cost about 10,000 naira, and at that time, it was definitely worth it. It was really good. Okay, now it's time for my verdict. Okay, in the end, there was always something to say about these buds. They cost 10,000 naira, which is about $25 at the point of recording this video, and they can't be the best without flaws. At this price point, they're the absolute best for this price point, and then there are actually no other buds that can compare in this price range. The Oraimo FreePods 3, they just got released. They look like the Apple AirPods Pro. They might compete with this because they have active noise cancelling, but those cost around 14,000 naira. They do sound like the better option, but then if you do not like the form factor of the AirPods Pro, this is your next best bet. This is your best bet. Let me know what you think about the buds down in the comment section below. If you actually have these buds, you can just comment your opinion, or you can comment your experience with these buds. If you love the video, give me a thumbs up. If you have questions, drop them down in the comments below. I will definitely reply to it. Like, share, and subscribe, and also tell your friends to subscribe too. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.